Hello and welcome to this episode of Class is in Session. I'm your host, Ashley Stevens, and this show on Black Enterprise highlights the latest happenings inside HBCU classrooms, public policy issues facing these historic institutions, the business side of HBCU sports, and we also shine a light on HBCU leaders, students, and alumni who are making major moves, especially in business. And I'm excited today to highlight two innovative HBCU mothers who set out on a mission to revolutionize period care, especially for tweens experiencing puberty for the first time, and they become entrepreneurs in the process. Howard University alumna Dr. Monica Williams and Florida A&M alumna Dana Roberts are founders of RedDrop, the completely chemical-free period brand that allows both parents and tweens to be fully prepared when their period arrives for the first time and beyond. I'm excited to welcome Dana Roberts this morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Ashley. How are you?
I am well. You know what? I see you rocking that FAMU loud and proud over there.
I'm always going to rock it. Always.
I love that. I love your HBCU pride is on full display. And that's what we're here to highlight as well. And especially how your HBCU prepared you for where you are. But let's go back to the beginning, Dana. Tell us where you're from and how did you and Dr. Monica Williams meet?
Well, I am from Atlanta, Georgia. Amazing childhood growing up in Southwest Atlanta, Georgia. And Monica and I met through We Are Essentially Family. She is married to my godbrother. And so we've known each other for close to 20 years.
Got it. Well, tell us then, how did you get together and formulate the idea for RedDrop? Where did the idea for this business even come about?
Well, at first, I'm a former teacher. And so my daughter, who is now 26, was in the fifth grade. And I was actually teaching a fifth grade class that was full of girls. I was teaching in a single gender environment. And those girls started to start their periods with me. And my daughter was in fifth grade as well. And so I started to really pay attention, like, well, wait a minute, like, some of the girls were prepared, but most of the girls weren't. They were blindsided. They didn't know what was happening to them. And oddly, their caretakers were just grossly, like, emotionally inept, to be honest. And so I was just like, selfishly, I was like, okay, this can't happen to my daughter. It's not the responsibility of a teacher to usher her into this like this. And I just wanted to prepare her. And so what I realized is that I started making these kits, and they were called First Purse. And in the kit, was products, a change of underwear, all of those things. And the feedback that I got from the girls was like, this is great, but these products aren't made for me. Like, these really feel like a diaper, or they're just not comfortable. And so at that time, Monica was in her first entrepreneur flagship business. And so I happened to be over there helping her pack this large order. I'm not sure if you've ever seen the pacifiers that have the stuffed animals on them. Monica invented that. So that, we were over there as a family helping her pack all of these orders. And so I said, hey, I got an idea. And she looked at me and she was like, not today, Dana. Like, literally, I am trying to start this business, right? And my niece, her daughter, was a baby, an infant, as a matter of fact. And so, in her mind, that is so far removed, from her life that it just wasn't, the time to have the conversation. And then fast forward almost 10 years. And her daughter was ready to have the conversation. Her daughter actually was in my school. My niece was in my school. And Monica called me and said, hey, you remember that idea you had? Like, let's really talk about it. And so fast forward about 5 or 6 years, we have been in existence.
Got it. So tell me why is it important for one, for us to have these discussions, especially as Black mothers, about period care. Because you talked about some of the, kind of the emotional withdrawal that some of the students' parents had. Why is it important for us to talk about period care?
Oh, it's very important, especially for Black women. And I tell, anybody that I'm allowed to talk about it, right? That I'm very unapologetic about my advocacy for Black and brown girls and Black and brown women in this space. And I feel like if we have this conversation with girls of empowerment, of finding the right products that fit your body, of finding the right products that make sure that is caring and it's caretaking, excuse me, to your period, then it really sets that tween or teen up for success, for advocacy, for uh, boundaries, for like, hey, when they do get into relationships, they already know their body. They know their body is a temple, it's theirs. They are the owners of their body. They can make decisions of their body. And also, because Black women, face more systemic healthcare racism, it is super important to start these conversations very early, because we do lead, unfortunately, in percentages of fibroid, of reproductive cancers. And so it's really important to say, like, hey, this is what your body should be doing. If your body isn't doing that, then you need to advocate, to a health professional, to your caretaker. Like, let's make sure you're okay. And I think it starts with the first period conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And Black folk got to get out of the habit of correlating a first period or periods with sex. We have to desexualize periods. It is a natural bodily function. It is something that your body must do to be healthy. And yes, sure, you can get pregnant. There, that is the, you can do that, right? But that's not the leading conversation. And unfortunately, um, historically, that's the leading conversation with us. And so it
Mm-hmm.
is a culture mindset shift to get there.
A culture mindset shift. You're exactly right that it really will take that, and I'm glad that RedDrop is one of the ways that can be a conversation starter. In addition to providing a tangible solution with chemical-free products, let's talk a little bit about. We talked about some of the risk factors, health. Medical racism that Black women face. But what about period poverty? That's a real thing. Tell us about what period poverty is for those that don't know, and what are some of the statistics behind it?
Yeah, so period poverty is a very real thing. And, my first teaching experience, I taught in middle school, and it was the middle school for the girls' foster group home. And some of my girls weren't coming to school. And, I mean, unfortunately, they're transient anyway. That's kind of, but when I started to dig and realize like why some of them weren't coming to school, it was literally because they didn't have products. And so that was my first real eye opener to what, period poverty can be and what it looks like. I would say for your girls that are outside of, that particular situation, especially in this economy, we have caretakers making decisions of food or period products. I used to have a weekly food bank, with one of my schools, and the first thing to go was period products. Not food, but period products. And so for girls, the statistics, excuse me, looks like that they will miss up to 8 to 10 school days a year, if not more, because they don't have adequate period products.
Wow, that's a shame. Mm.
Yeah. And I mean, honestly, you can't, we can get some real data behind that, but, you know, really, I don't know how you can be exactly precise, because you would really have to have real rapport with girls to be, for them to be very forthcoming, to say like, hey, I didn't come to school today because I didn't have products. And so we're really just trying to change that. We try to change that with our donations. Um, we just donated over, I want to say over 3,000 products last week to the Atlanta public school system. We donate, everywhere, honestly, as much as we can, because we understand that it is a real issue. An article just came out last week about the rising cost of tampons, and how women are really, making decisions, with their budget, about how they just have to cut back certain things because they have to afford period care.
Wow. Yeah, no, that's a real deal. It is a financial implication. It is so disheartening to hear that young ladies and girls are having to miss school because they don't have products. I mean, that's very disheartening. I can only relate in the sense that I was missing school or practice or work because I have endometriosis that went
Mm,
long undiagnosed, and the pain
mm,
often kept me out, but I'm thankful, but my mom talked to me. I had products, we had a calendar. But I know that's not the case for everybody. And,
right.
and you even mentioned the fact that some girls felt like, I appreciate the first purse so much, but the product still feels bulky to me. So let's talk a little bit about why RedDrop is different. Let's talk about the products that you offer and why they are the right size, the right fit, and right absorbency for tweens and teen girls.
Yeah, so I mean, when you really think about it, it's so simple, right? And what I often say is that you have these, big companies, three large major companies that control most of feminine hygiene care. And to think that for Red Drop, right, we created pads that are smaller, that hold just as much flow, so the absorbency is not compromised. We have more adhesive, so it won't shift during recess or PE or sports after school. It's odor wicking, because we know that girls are still learning how to take care of their bodies at that time. And then we also have like feminine wipes, water and aloe, just so they can clean themselves at school. We have period underwear, and we will be coming out with tampons, tween tampons, really soon. And most of the period innovation has come from small businesses, from small business, women led businesses. And you have to really think like, why didn't these larger, companies think that girls especially deserved? It's, to me, it's a deserving. We're talking about deserve. Um, and
Mhm.
so, yeah, that is what we offer. We also offer, education that complements our products, which is really important. A lot of our caretakers reach out to us, so we have an 8-part period series. Excuse me. We have 2 books, an interactive workbook. We have a book that we partner with Rebel Girls with, and so everything that we do is intentional. It is super intentional for tweens and teens and their caretakers.
That's really intentional that you mentioned you have resources, right? Resources for parents and caregivers, that go along with the products that are right sized and right fit for the tweens. And you also mentioned expansion. Congratulations, on a tampon line as well. So tell us, Dana, as a Black woman owned business, what have been some of your wins and what have been some of your challenges in starting up a new business, particularly in the healthcare space?
Woo, you know, we can go to challenges first, so we can just, talk about the elephant in the room. So the challenges are really funding. We have to over justify, this dream of ours. Like, we have to really, basically, with funders, really pull back like the enormity of how we can be impactful, because I don't know any better way to say it, but sometimes Black women aren't allowed to dream that big. if it is not proven as quick to be profitable, right? So
Mhm.
it's like, well, wait a minute, that is just so unfathomable to where this could really work. But you see the data, right? You see what's happening. We we grew this business without raising any money. We self-funded ourselves for a very long time. We just got our first institutional investment, excuse me, for $50,000.
Wow.
And we are a multi-million-dollar company. And we have been surviving. And it has been hard. So I will say that funding is really has been a challenge for us. Equitable funding that doesn't come with someone trying to take all of your business, in equity, just fair, equitable funding across the board. And also fair access to loans, that are non predatory, has been a challenge for us. I will say some of the wins that we have had is just that we have grown this business within 4 years to a multi-million-dollar business on a very low capital, on strict, like, hard work, low capital, giving a real quality product that has grown in popularity by just being good. I tell the story. I was stopped last week in the airport, you know, and it was so great because it was a Black woman, right? And she graduated from FAM, and she had her daughter there. She was like, "My daughter uses your products." And
Wow.
I found them out because somebody else told me about it. And that really makes me feel good because that's not the marketing per se. It's not the thousands of dollars we spend on performance marketing, but it's just really a good product, right? Where somebody has a good experience. Excuse me, somebody has a good experience, and then they tell somebody, and I think that's the win. And then finally, another win for both of us is the impact. The true impact on girls, their caretakers, but especially on girls. You know, I do believe that um, if we really impact girls in this way, it changes the trajectory of who they are for generations, and who the women are going to be in their family for generations. And so that is the win for me every single day, that I am, doing something and to leave an impact for children before I leave this earth.
I love to hear that this is helping future current and future generations be more empowered about embracing their period, having the right resources, having the right conversations with their caregivers, and being prepared emotionally, and also with the right products, the right size products that fit them. And that's why Red Drop is important. So kudos to you on the
Thank
wins. You've
you.
navigated the challenges and you've made them wins, and that's a big deal. And congrats on your first major investment as well.
Yeah,
That's
thank you.
excellent news. That's excellent news. And again, you got your Rattler shirt, you got your FAMU loud and proud. I love to see it. So tell us, Dana Roberts. We're here with Dana Roberts. She's one of the co-founders of RedDrop, which is a completely chemical-free period brand for tweens who are entering puberty and having their periods for the first time. Proud FAMU alumna. Tell us, Dana, why did you choose your HBCU, and how did
Uh,
it prepare you not only for your career in education, but also as an entrepreneur?
oh my gosh, why did I choose FAMU? um, I remember I went to FAMU. I graduated in '95, and I majored in theater education. And I remember doing a tour and walking up the steps of the set and with my mom, and my mom saw it in my face. She was like, "Oh, she's sprung. This is it right here." This, and I remember walking into the audition because I had to audition. I got a full ride um, from at FAMU from Camille and Bill Cosby, and um, I chose FAMU because it just felt like home. It just felt like a place where I could fail in safety. And I certainly did, and so that is why I chose it. And it was the best decision of my life. It was probably some of the best years of my life. It prepared me to be flexible. It prepared me to be an inquirer, to ask questions, to be very firm in what I feel like I deserve. And it was one of the best experiences of my life.
Love to hear it. Love to hear it. And because it felt like home, I mean, I just love to hear that there was such a connection to FAMU and a full ride. That's a big deal, having come from Atlanta, getting a full ride. And it sounds like also, not only were you prepared for the career that you had as an educator, and obviously now your role as an entrepreneur, but talk a little bit about how the FAMU alumni network has been supportive to you as an entrepreneur with RedDrop.
Yeah, so I get several emails, DMs, just reaching out to me from FAMU alumni, from my FAMU alumni, basically just saying thank you. Thank you for the product. I have so many, alumni who have allowed their own daughters to use this product and now are faithful, customers of ours. And it's just been humbling. It's really humbling, when you have family, so to speak, really entrust you with their daughter. That's a big thing
Yeah.
for me. I don't take that for granted at all. That, because there are honestly, probably another 100 items on the shelf that someone can try. But for them to be intentional to try us, just really gives me hope and continue. It helps me continue to push for this.
Love to hear that. Love to hear that. And Dana Roberts, tell us for either parents or caregivers that are looking for the resources and the books and that you've put out, and also if there are school districts or community organizations that are interested to purchase from you in bulk, where can they find more information about Red Drop?
Yeah, thank you for the question. So you can find us, of course, on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok. RedDrop, that is our name. You can also find us on our website at tryreddrop.com, and we do have information on that website about wholesale. We are in several school districts across the country, with products. And so you can reach out. There's definitely information on there, my personal information, email, phone number, to get in contact with us. And we would love to partner with anyone who wants to, especially not only get it for your daughter, but to advocate, at the school level, for the schools to get these products for girls at school.
Awesome. Love to hear that. And I'm remiss in asking. Obviously, we can order products from your website. Are you currently in any major retailers, or should parents go to your website to purchase products?
Right now, we are just on our website, and we are in Amazon. On Amazon, we are finalists for Walmart in October. We do our final pitch, and I'm just going to put in the atmosphere. We are in conversations with Ulta. And so we're super excited, just at the thought of being able to have our products in a retail environment for more accessibility, for caretakers.
Love to hear that. That's actually very exciting news that you're in conversations with major retailers. So it's out in the atmosphere now. So it's got to happen. We are claiming it and speaking it into existence. And I'm excited for you, Dana. I'm really excited for you. And we really appreciate you sharing this story. And before we go, what would be your advice to aspiring entrepreneurs, particularly Black women who may be mothers and want to create a product or a service that impacts healthcare?
Hmm, that's a great question. I would say my advice is first, if the product is solving a problem, then go for it. You know, um, and be tenacious. Like, like we talked about before, I had this idea honestly 15 years before it came into fruition. And so if you know that this is something that can support humanity, right? If you know that this is deep in your spirit, and then just take it step by step, day by day. You can do it. I am a product of you can do it. It just takes a little time. And it's all in God's timing, really. I think about if I would have launched RedDrop 15 years ago, I wouldn't have been ready. I just wouldn't have been ready. And so I do believe in imperfect timing. And so my advice is definitely just you know, um, to keep pushing, to learn about your product and to be the best representative of your product, to be able to talk about your product and to uplift your product, and really show that how it is going to solve an issue, especially in the healthcare realm, for humanity and make humanity better.
Love to hear it. Make humanity better. And for all those listening, she comes not only from FAMU, but also from the You Can Do It University. I love to hear that, Dana Roberts. Listen, we appreciate you being here with us today on Classes in Session.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely glad to have you. And again, kudos to you, to Dana Roberts and also Dr. Monica Williams. They are the co-founders of RedDrop, which is a revolutionary period care product and initiative for tween girls experiencing puberty for the first time and experiencing their periods for the first time. So you can, again, find out more information at their website at tryreddrop.com. So again, for all those watching, be sure to share this episode with family and friends. And all you rattlers, be sure to share this episode as well. And stay posted for the latest and greatest coverage on Black Enterprise's social media channels and on our website at blackenterprise.com. For this edition of Class is in Session, I'm your host, Ashley Stevens, and class is dismissed.